Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Oprah Winfrey talking about race. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. One of the wealthiest women in the world, Miss Winfrey, recently traveled to Switzerland to attend the wedding of singer Tina Turner. While in Zurich, Miss Winfrey says she was humiliated by a shop clerk who refused to show her an expensive purse.
She refused to get it. She refused to get it. And she started to show me these other little bags. And I said, one more time I tried, I said, but I really do just really want to see that one. And she said, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And I said, okay, thank you so much. You're probably right. I can't afford it. And I walked out of the store. Now, why did she do that?
Because she's a moron. That's why. I believe every American has been insulted in a restaurant or a store at some time. And when that happens, you do what Miss Winfrey did. You walk out. Later, you can call up and complain to the owner of the property. But Oprah was heavily implying that the disrespect shown her was racist. The clerk involved denies that. Ms. Winfrey also said this about her current status.
Sometimes I'm in a boardroom or I'm in situations where I'm the only woman, I'm the only African-American person within, a 100-mile radius. And I can see in the energy of the people there, they don't sense that I should be holding one of those seats. I can sense that. Yeah, of course, I can sense it. But I can never tell, is it racism, is it sexism?
Now, Ms. Winfrey has gotten a lot of heat for her criticism and her statements, but Talking Points believes her critics are misguided. That was Oprah's experience, and she has a perfect right to express her feelings about it. The truth is, there are racists. There are people who don't like women holding power. There are all kinds of loons running around, everybody knows it. But here's the most important part of the story. Oprah Winfrey and everybody else should ignore those troglodytes. Unless the situation is serious. A foolish insult is not. The truth is, you're not going to change the minds of the ignorant, and it's not worth the effort in any case. Also, to internalize this kind of stuff is destructive to a human being. As we've been reporting, there's a huge grievance industry in America that peddles victimization all day long. What good does that do? Oprah Winfrey is perhaps the best example of a talented person who made it on her own in America. She's now one of the most powerful human beings on the planet. Her color certainly did not hold her back from achieving that. So if some idiot shop clerk insults Miss Winfrey, that's wrong, but no big deal. Oprah can get on a private jet and fly anywhere she wants to buy anything she wants. She has made it in America because she worked hard and used the talent God granted her. Summing up, the victimhood card is useless to Oprah and to everybody else. There is racism in the world. It's not going away. And if you can change it, try. But most of the time, ignore it. Don't let it dampen your life. And that's a memo. Now for the top story night reaction. Joining us from New Orleans, Fox News anchor Arthel Neville and Fox News chief religion correspondent Lauren Green with us here in New York City. So where am I going wrong here, Lauren?
Actually, I don't think you were going wrong, but the only problem is that you weren't there, I wasn't there. We don't know what transpired between those two. I do believe things like this happen all the time because it happened to me. It happened to me years ago in Saks Fifth Avenue, and I was dressed down and asked for a dress. The clerk said, the first thing she said to me was how much it costs. That's a problem. And so I said, okay, and I walked away. No one said anything. I didn't make a big deal out of it. But things like that do happen. And I do believe that the critics are wrong in saying, that she overreacted. I think people need to know that things like this do happen.
Why do people need to know that?
Because racism is something like calling the N-word. It's not in your face. It's usually something a little more subtle like that. And I've experienced it, my sister-in-law's experienced, but you have two choices when you go into experiences like that. You can either make the situation worse or you can diffuse it.
Okay, but hasn't everybody, as I said in the Talking Points memo, been insulted by a clerk or in a restaurant? Hasn't everybody of every color been insulted?
I don't know.
I think
but you know what? People look at you. You are the top of the food chain in this world. You are a white male, and everybody knows that when
I'm insulted all the time. I am. All the time.
That's because it's you. I think they just don't like you.
Well, whatever the food chain is, I mean, even when I wasn't me, even when I was just coming up, I was insulted. And I think everybody is. How do you see it, Miss Arthel?
Well, first I have a question. Did you say, Bill, that Oprah was positioning herself as a victim? Did I understand you to say that?
Did you read the Talking Points memo?
I heard them just
Did you
now.
read? Because we sent it to you. Did you read it?
Could you please? I read them, and I would like you to answer the question,
Okay.
please. I want to say, if you don't want to answer my question, I want to say
I'll answer
that
the question, but I think it's obvious that I didn't say she was portraying herself as a victim. I said that this kind of a thing is used by the grievance industry to promote victimization.
Okay,
All right, you got anything else?
I want to make sure that you realize that I don't think Oprah was promoting or supporting the grievance
And
industry.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I said that the wise thing to do in these cases is do what she did.
Okay,
Walk out.
great. Then I agree with you. So, next.
Okay, next is it worth, basically, as Lauren said, pointing this out? And if so, why?
In this day and age, we pretty much chronicle mostly everything we do via Twitter. All Oprah did was sent out a tweet and said, hey, tried to get a bag, lady thought I couldn't afford it, walked out.
Well, she should have said
saved
where
me
the
some
shop
money.
was, too.
Which
You
that's
know.
the point, though, Bill. She didn't want to put the shop on blast. She
Then-
didn't want to make a big deal about it. She simply
Then how is the
chronicled what
problem
happened
going to be
her.
solved? Everybody knows who the
She
shop
wasn't
is
trying
now.
to solve a problem. I believe what Oprah was doing was, as someone who we know very well, and pretty much everybody in the entire world, I would say, who knows Oprah, she's very trustworthy. So I think what she was doing was just simply saying that, guys, yeah, the elephant is in the room. We can't ignore it. She certainly wasn't trying to put a bigger wedge in the racial divide pie, if you will. She just said, look, if it happens to me, it can happen to everybody. She's not trying to promote
Okay, but
racism.
all right,
She's
I
putting a face
understand.
to
I
it.
understand, and I said there's nothing wrong with saying what she said.
Okay.
That it was her experience, and I said that quite clearly. However,
Yeah.
this stuff does feed the victimization industry, the grievance industry. It feeds it, and it gives people a reason to fail.
I don't know about that. I mean, I
Oh,
want
of
to.
course it
No, wait a
does.
second. Wait a second.
Absolutely does.
I want to say that I'm still trying to get over the fact that there's a purse on sale for $38,000. I'm still stumbling over that right now. But the fact of the matter is, you know, Oprah Winfrey is worth what, $3 billion. She is a very smart woman, but doesn't mean
So
that
let's
she's
get
not
to the
sensitive.
point.
She's
What's
not
the point
sensitive.
here?
The point is that I don't think that she was trying to play the victimization card. I think
But it
she
can
was
be
simply
used.
saying
It can be used
other
that
people
way.
have
It's
used
not
it.
gonna be
Other
used
people
that
might have
way.
used it, but she
It's
did
not
not
gonna
use
be
it.
used that
She's
way.
a sensitive person. Does it mean that she doesn't have the right to say something that offended her? I think she had a right to say that. It
And
is
I
the
said
media
that
that took it
I
to the
said
next
that
level.
quite clearly that she has the right to do it. But I disagree with both of you if you don't think that this is going to be used by the grievance industry and the racial hustlers to say, see, even Oprah Winfrey, see, they're all against us. See,
But I mean, here's
and then
the deal.
you just turn it around and
Bill,
you say Oprah
let
Winfrey.
me just say
wait a
this.
minute, Arthel. You turn it around and you say Oprah Winfrey is the most successful woman in the United States, and she's black. So it doesn't add up. Go ahead.
Listen, you're right. It doesn't add up because what you're trying to put in this equation doesn't make sense. Okay, this is what I think people should understand. That of course, Oprah, myself, I can't speak for them, or Oprah or Lauren, but I think they would agree with me that no one wants to sanction excuses. No one wants to do that. That's not what we're
But
doing
it's done
here.
all the time. The grievance industry peddles a victimization theme that allows people to say, oh, I can't succeed because I'm black.
And I don't
They
agree
do it
with
all
that.
the
I don't-
time,
I'm-
and you
I-
know it. Final word. The victimization industry is one of our big themes here. Because I
understand.
feel that this holds African Americans and every minority back, and whites too. Oh, it's me. Oh, society won't let me succeed. And this is what I want to get across, that you've got to ignore that. You've got to overcome that. Last word.
I also think that this is a generational issue. My brother, my oldest brother, who is about your age, about 10 years older than you, when he was a teenager, he got into trouble, got into the big house, spent some time in prison. My brother now has a doctorate in education, served on the governor's board for
So he turned it around.
he turned around. But he said to people, he says to young people today, he says, I was in jail because I was a thief, not because I was black.
Okay. Next on the rundown, why are most